Hey guys, and welcome back. So, as you see, there was no driver's seat. I had to pull that fuel tank valve because we need to run this thing on a non-lawnmower gas tank when we start it up. So I've been working on trying to get the fuel system back up and going. Since I've had it, it's never used a fuel tank. Previously it used the driver's side fuel tank, so that's what I'm going with. So in the meantime, you got two bolts holding that valve in, and classic car, you spend a half hour trying to get both of those bolts to come off, and they both end up breaking. However, they are through bolts, so I didn't really care either way. And then I'm going to put some yellow paint on there just to prevent it from rusting up on me. But I am going to go through later and go through the whole floor here. Got to repair the floor. There's some light right there. Got to fix that. And then fix the passenger side. I also picked up a new turn signal cam from Scouter 1. And let's just say this one actually, there's an actual like left and right position and then a off, where before it just kind of just fell, but it's actually clicking into place. So that wasn't bad to install there. And then finally figured out, or painting up the steering column, but before I painted it last time, there was a bunch of crackling, so I've been kind of babying that to get back to spec there. So, driver's seat, that needs to get reupholstered for sure. But here is the fuel valve, and copper and brass and aluminum. So I got it off pretty easy here. Clean it up. There's a little bit of debris in it. I mean, not too bad. Definitely had the rank smell of fuel, but no surprises. And so now I know that this is clean inside, and it's interesting design, and that at the bottom of this shaft there is a tapered brass fitting with a hole in it, and it's actually a taper seal that seals inside of there. So I might draw a little picture for you later to help explain it better. But these are the bolts that decided to snap, and I did get them to untwist through lots of heat and PB blaster, but they just decided to give up. So we're going to replace those. Working on the blower motor. This is not the factory motor, in case anyone else is wondering. PM321 is the number. They're about 40 bucks. This one's, it's okay. Sucks because you can't service them. They're sealed. But for 40 bucks you can just buy a new one, I suppose. So was going through that, cleaning the fan. This is the other fuel line, and all these fuel lines are copper, and that's stinking lucky here. I'm sure if they were steel they'd be all rotten, but all the copper fuel lines are in pretty good shape. This is the cover for the blower motor. Had to paint that up to match. We got the driver's side tank here. Gonna have to do some fabrication to make another one of these straps to the other side, and then clean it out. They're both in really good shape. I did buy a new filler neck from the Binder Boneyard, and I'll be doing a little video on that once I get that. Still got to clean up where the tank sits. Got to do some patchwork, drill out a couple bad bolts. And yeah, that's what we've been doing. spent last night fighting with the fuel valve. So I'll take you guys along here and we'll find out any surprises along the way. So here we go. These are the two shifting knobs. This one I've sanded and JB welded and patched up and then turned and sanded it on the lathe. And this one is still untouched. And I'm not sure if these were yellow when they came, because I've seen a lot of them when they're restored they're just black like this. But these two had what looked like remains of yellow paint on them. So I'm thinking I'm going to go that route. I just got to patch up a little spot I missed on this one, and that one will be good for paint. This one I just gave it a quick sand and a cleaning, so now I got to mix up some JB Weld and just fill that in a little bit and then sand it up, make them look nice. So working on that. If you guys want a cheap parts catch, a tuna can with a magnet on the back. I like them because they're deep. You can fit a lot of junk in there. Anyway, mix up some JB Weld and get to it here. Alright, so here's the blower assembly all put together. I got my little power supply here. Oops. There's low. And there's high. Alright. Ready to go back in. There's the part number if you guys need it. It's a pretty basic little motor there. Not too much. I saw one online from Murray. One of the two. Anyway, I'll go put this in here. Alright, remember to always have your hearing protection and your eye protection. Not too bad of a job for 30 bucks. Alright. One side is prepped. Now I'm going to check it for any leaks, because the last thing I want to do is weld up a bracket and then put gas in it and have it leak gas everywhere. So I'm going to just try it out with some water here. I am defeated. I can't weld the hole in it. So I'm going to have to bite the bullet and buy a poly tank, which I guess is for the best overall, which is a complete shame because the inside of that tank is immaculate. But I'll never have to worry about the poly tank rusting. So that's where it'll sit. In the meantime, courtesy of the binder boneyard. Well, I shouldn't say courtesy. I bought it, but this is where I got it. Binder boneyard. I got the new filler neck, which is steel as compared to rubber. Very nice build quality. Has a bigger vent on it, as you can see. So that'll just fish right in there. It'll look factory. Give her a coat of black paint or something. Anyway, that was like $109. So, and it came with the fuel cap and everything you needed. So, pardon me, I'm just angry about the stupid fuel tank. Not like it can hear me or anything. But they sent along some cool stickers. So, those will probably end up on the Scout eventually here. I suppose in the meantime, the passenger side tank is salvageable. So I'll be working on that here. It needs both brackets manufactured. So hopefully the tank, although I did notice that every time I blew through that tank it was even thinner, so maybe it was getting kind of rotten. I don't know. I'm trying to make up excuses, but $230 for a poly tank is one less headache, I suppose. But let me get working on the passenger side tank. Maybe we can get that one at least halfway decent. Alright, as you can see, passenger side tank is a little bit more run down. However, it is just surface rust. So once I grind these brackets off flush, there should be clean steel underneath for me to weld the new brackets on. And what screwed me over in the last one is I cut the one bracket off and then I peeled this tab off of it, and that proceeded to blow a hole in the tank, and being that the metal was so thin I could not weld it back together. So hopefully this one will treat us a bit better than the driver's side. And this one is pretty much a reserve tank because you can't run the fuel valve. Where are you? You can't run the fuel valve on both tanks. It's either one or the other. And the driver's side has the fuel sender with the float in it. So I'm guessing once you run out of fuel on the driver's side, you can switch over to the passenger side until you get to a gas station. Or I guess that's the plan. I know some of them came with a little switch. You could choose between the passenger and the driver tank, but this one does not have that. So, wish us luck here. Alright, we got the cam installed. That was a sticky mess. I just took the Ultra Slick and just completely smothered it while wearing gloves, and then gently guided it all the way in. So now I need to double check their paperwork and see what size of push rods I need to order. And I'll probably email them just to make sure. So anyway, it's coming together, gents. Alright, we have the cam gear installed with the key and bolt torqued down below there. We have the new tappets and the push rods in, and we have the intake manifold on, we have the ignition coil in, the distributor is just sitting there, it's not keyed in or anything. But I ran into a snag here, and I'm going to zoom you in. One of the intake, or one of the coolant manifold holes. Yeah, look at that beauty. Look at that. I had the manifold on there, and I was tightening the bolt, and it just started to get loose again. So I backed it all the way off, and I figured that since I'm here, I might as well put a helicoil in there. So those of you who don't know, helicoil is an insert that replaces your threads in your hole, but you got to make sure you have enough meat around your hole to make up for it. So the particular helicoil I'm using is a 3/8/16. Zoom you out here. They got 3/8/16. You need to drill a 25/64 drill, or a hole I should say, and they tell you up above there. And these run you like, you know, $20-ish off of Amazon, and you can repair quite a bit of holes with them. I picked this one up to, I believe, repair the head on here, and we're going to use it to fix this. So I have everything taped off and or covered that needs to be covered, and we're just going to drill and tap for a helicoil here. So let me get some things and we'll get you back here. Alright, we have the install tool. You can just thread her on there, and that little tang there is what drives it. But before I do that, I'm going to put some blue thread locker on there, and I'm going to drop the cap into who knows where, but you know, for science. Alright, nice and blue. Come on now. Probably because I didn't chamfer the hole here. Your action shot. Come on, now you're making me look silly. On your hole. Well, shoot. Take two. Alright, it has changed quite a bit. I did take a video, but I accidentally deleted it. So, put everything together, got everything on, for the most part. I didn't go with the longer push rods because the hydraulic lifters have enough tolerance in them, and anyway, there's no play in those push rods, and I did cycle it over by hand, and everything feels good, so we're just gonna go with it. Anyway, camshaft gear's on, it's properly timed. I just put the front cover on today, water pump on today, the main pulley down there is on. I haven't set timing yet. Intake manifold, this is just, oh, this got installed. I had to helicoil the bolt hole for this bolt, and this is my tuna carburetor cover there. Got the coil on, the fuel pump on, pretty much plug and play almost. And in the meantime, I was also putting on the alternator bracket right here, but we ran into a snag, and I was gonna just stick it on there, but as I was cleaning it, I was like, I might as well blow it apart and see, and probably good that I did, because the inside was pretty caked in a lot of debris. It is salvageable. I can buy a kit online that comes with new brushes and this whole plastic plug assembly. Yeah, everything looks to be in good shape except for the bearings. This bearing is kind of grindy, and on the back it just has this dust cover that goes in there, and then this is what goes over the top of it, and as you can see there's some pretty old grease in there. So this thing hasn't seen service in quite a while, and it is a Delco Remy alternator, and I'm not sure of the year of it, and I'm just guessing, but on right there it says 1959. Am I seeing things? Is that even a date? There is, where is it? These numbers here. We'll use the let's see if this works here. Kind of, there's glare. Any of those numbers. But yeah, that bearing is shot. It might be possible to clean it, but it's just worth just replacing it, honestly. And the overall kit does come with bearings, but they look like knockoffs. And so thanks to eBay, I can buy new old stock bearings for this, which I think I'm going to do anyway, and then use the rest of the kit. This is the poor needle bearing. There should not be that much crap down into that poor thing. So we're playing Rebuild Humpty Dumpty here, and I do kind of know, because in high school auto shop we had to disassemble an alternator and put it back together again, so this is not new to me. The pulley had a keyway on it, but the actual shaft does not have a keyway on it, so I guess we're just gonna leave it alone because it worked. Clean it up, reuse it. So I'm gonna go have lunch and order parts for this poor thing. But other than that, that's what I've been up to. Looking to put the oil pan on this weekend, waiting on some gasket sealer for it. Everything's going along swimmingly. Still got to figure out the water pipe tube. I might just go ahead and use it because it's not going to leak. But yeah, it looks like a big red thing. Hopefully we'll hear it run in a month or so, maybe sooner. Thanks, new subscribers. Thank you guys for watching, and we'll catch you guys in the next video. Oh, wait a minute. Here is the new gas tank. This is a poly tank made in USA in Iowa. I have the original float. It works. I just went through it, cleaned it, lubed it. That's it. So this poly tank is for the driver's side, which I'm going to do. It came with 2 straps. Here's the image for it. So you put those 2 straps in, put the tank in, and then it clamps it down. So it came with the brackets and the bolts, and it was not cheap. Not cheap. It was like $300. Anyway, but I don't have to worry about anything. Just plug and play, you're done. Still says to run a fuel filter, which you darn tootin' I'm going to run a fuel filter. you'll have nightmares with your float and needle if you don't. Anyway, that is all, gents. Until next time, we'll catch you in the next video. Thanks for watching.